In this video, you are going to learn 11 reasons why you are not losing belly fat and how to fix it. I've coached thousands of women in the fitness space, and these are the most common lifestyle, nutrition, and workout factors that hold people back. The first reason why you're not losing belly fat is your stress. So stress releases a hormone called cortisol, which causes your body to hold on to water weight and store fat easier. And it also makes you hungrier, increases your cravings. So it's just gonna make the whole process a lot more difficult than it needs to be. So obviously you want to keep your levels of stress to a minimum, which is easier said than done. But here are some tips on easy, or not easy, but things that you can implement on a regular basis that over the long term are going to help you manage your stress levels and keep them not too bad, keep them reasonable. So the first thing is a supplement. So this is a natural supplement. I use it and it's called Adrenasense, and it's just supposed to help your body with your cortisol levels. It has supplements in it, like it has things in it that are supposed to reduce your stress, like ashwagandha. I'm not exactly sure how to say it, but things like that. So that's one thing that you can use. Again, over time, you may see some differences. Regularly meditating and journaling can be really helpful. Now, this can take a while till you actually see differences. I know for me, it took like years until I even thought that meditation even slightly reduced my stress, but it does actually change your brain, so stick with it. And last one is make sure you're not doing too much working out. It's like 45 to 90 minutes is good. If you're overdoing that, you can actually increase the stress levels in your body. So keep that in mind. The second reason why you're not losing belly fat is a reason that most people would not expect, and that is you're doing too much cardio. So if you're doing a lot of cardio, when you're first starting out, you may initially see a quick drop in your weight, but do not be fooled because you'll hit a plateau quickly, and it's not gonna be a matter of just adding more cardio and get out of it. Also with cardio, you may be losing weight, but you might not be losing fat. And that is what you want in order to lose belly fat. Another thing is that too much cardio also increases your cortisol levels. So again, counterproductive, not gonna help. So what you wanna do instead is shift most of your emphasis to weight training or strength training. You know, if you're working out at home, it's still fine, and resistance training, getting stronger, and then just have the cardio as the icing on top. When it comes to the cardio aspect, what you actually want to focus on is your step count for the day, and that'll kind of take care of that for itself. If you enjoy cardio, you can do it, but don't put all your energy into it. My video coming out next week is how to successfully lose fat and maintain muscle with walking. So stay tuned because it's going to give you a lot more details on how to easily do that and the benefits and why it matters. And that's gonna lead us to our next tip. The third reason why you might not be losing belly fat is if you're adding back in calories that you have burned. So the problem with this is most fitness trackers, like step counters, like Fitbit, Apple Watch, all that stuff, their calorie burn is way off. So if it says you burned 500 calories and then you add 500 calories back in, you're either going to be taking yourself out of a deficit, maybe even going into a surplus. So what you want to do instead is determine your calorie intake according to your overall activity level. And to make it more flexible, like maybe certain days you're a lot more active than others, give yourself a range of calories to stay within, and then if you're more active some days or hungrier some days, go to the higher end of the range. And then if you're less active and less hungry, go to the lower end of the range. And that's gonna be a lot more consistent and accurate than adding in calories according to what your fitness tracker said. The next reason is another surprising one that people probably wouldn't think is holding them back, but it can. And that is you're spending too much time on ab workouts. The first thing you want to keep in mind is that in order to lose belly fat, you just need to lose overall body fat, and because you can't spot reduce, so it's gonna come off in different places at a different time. So just because you're doing a ton of ab work doesn't mean you're gonna lose fat there any faster. So do some exercises if you want. So if you enjoy doing some ab exercises, feel free to use them as a warm-up or throw them onto the end of a workout, but they should not be your top priority. So as I said in tip number 2, focus more of your time on training the rest of your body, getting stronger, and then sprinkle a little bit of the ab work on top, make sure your calories are in check, and bam, you'll lose belly fat with consistency. There actually was a time where I did long ass ab circuits after every workout, and I am telling you, my abs were no better than they were other times where I was doing less abs, but more weight training and getting stronger. So yeah, the proof is in the pudding. Reason number 5 is you're not getting enough sleep. So sleep reduces cortisol, the stress hormone that we discussed earlier, and it also controls your hunger levels and your appetite. So on days that you haven't slept enough, you may notice that you're hungrier or you have more cravings. So you want to try to aim for 7 to 9 hours of sleep. Everyone's different. Some people can function on lower, some people need a little more. So adjust accordingly. Obviously, sometimes life happens. There's going to be nights here and there where you don't get as many hours of sleep, but just as long as you're getting it most of the time, you're good. So how to fix your sleep if you don't have the best sleep. There's some supplements that are natural that can help with your sleep, melatonin and valerian root. I've used both of these in the past. David's tea also has a relaxation tea, and it has valerian root in it, and I used to use it, and again, I found that worked pretty well. A big thing is also not keeping your phone use to a minimum as it gets closer to bed, because the light can keep you up, and also just making sure you're unwinding before bed. I know for me, say if I'm just working, doing stuff, and then I just go straight to bed, your brain is still like going crazy. It's still active, and it can even reduce the quality of your sleep. So you want to make sure you're taking the time to unwind, maybe read a book. My ultimate favorite little sleep tool is the sleep casts on the Headspace app. So it's hard to say. The sleep casts on the Headspace app I'm obsessed with, because it's basically, if you don't have the app, like, I'm not affiliated with them, but I just love it because it's like these bedtime stories. That's basically what I call them. And it has like this nice ambiance, like background noise, and it's like in different scenery, and it's just amazing. I love it. Even if I can't sleep, it's like not the end of the world because I actually get to listen to the sleep casts. So I cannot recommend those enough. So I want to know, let me know in the comments below, have you tried the Headspace sleep casts? They're so hard to say. Or I know Calm has them as well. I listen to those, but the Headspace ones, just something about them. Let me know in the comments below if you've tried those or if there's any other little sleeping hacks that you've tried. Let us know, share your little tips with us. And my other tip for pretty much guaranteed sleeping like a baby, this works differently for everyone, so it's not the thing I say, everyone do this for better sleep, but it definitely works for me. Woohoo. The 6th reason why you may not be losing belly fat is if you are under eating and restricting yourself. So this was my problem for so long. You wanna get to your goal as fast as possible, so you cut your calories down, and it just doesn't go well, because as I like to say, extreme approaches result in extreme disappointment. So sometimes what will happen when people eat too low calorie is, so say you say, I'm gonna stick to 1,200 calories a day. So you're doing it, you're dying, and then as you go along, you start like really dying, like really getting starving and just low energy and cravings. So then you end up having multiple days a week where you just fall off track because you're starving, and then you end up overeating, like way more than you actually would have eaten if you had just started at, like, say 1,700 calories. And that is what I would do. I'd be like, oh, I don't want to eat more calories, I want to stick to this low amount, but then I wouldn't be able to stick to it, and then while I wasn't able to stick to it, I would end up eating more, you know? So that's such a common thing, and it's like we don't even realize it until you like stop doing it or someone points it out. So do not majorly restrict your calories. Take it slow. I know it's hard, but it's hard to be patient, but it's so important, and it will help you in the long run. So you want to stick to a small deficit. Look at it as a slow, long-term process. That's also going to help you maintain muscle, which we also know is very important. Not restricting yourself is also going to allow you to maintain the results, which is obviously really important because you don't work hard to see results, to just lose them. I mean, I used to do that over and over and over and over, but that's not what we want, right? So yeah, don't overly restrict. Now, if you are someone who currently does have a pretty restrictive, strict diet that you're not enjoying, check out my other video. It's gonna be in the description box below, and it's called Can You Lose Weight While Eating Sugar? And I'll explain more about how you can see results while still eating things that you enjoy. Woohoo! So reason number 7 is that you aren't keeping track of the calories in healthy foods. So this isn't to say that you need to obsessively track every single calorie for the rest of your life, but just because a food is healthy and has nutritional benefits doesn't mean that it's going to allow you to lose weight. The main thing is being in a calorie deficit. So if you're slathering coconut oil all over your food and you're saying, oh, this is fine, it's healthy, yes, it's healthy, but that's also going to take you out of your calorie deficit and prevent you from losing fat. So reason number 8 is that you're not accurately tracking your calorie intake or just aren't really aware of the calories that you're consuming. So unfortunately, some foods do add up really, really quickly in calories. So let's say you're having a tablespoon of peanut butter, but it's not actually a tablespoon. That can easily add a couple hundred extra calories, which is horrifying and very sad. Same thing with oils, nuts. Maybe you're cooking and you just have little extra handfuls of bites here and there. It's so easy to just absent-mindedly do those things and not even realize it. And then bam, you're out of your calorie deficit and feeling frustrated and wondering why you're not seeing a change. So again, it's not about being like obsessive and meticulously weighing and tracking and being crazy about it. But if you're at a point where you're not seeing changes, you definitely do have to be aware of some of these extra bites and things that add up. Reason number 9 is that you're not eating enough protein. Most of the time when people come to me, they're not eating enough protein, but this is a big mistake because protein is gonna keep you full longer, help you maintain and build muscle, and as we know, that is gonna help with fat loss and your metabolism and all the necessary things for losing belly fat. Now, it can be a little bit of a challenge hitting your protein when you're not used to it. I know it was tough for me at one point, but I've gotten the hang of it and it's super, super easy now. It's like not even something I have to think of, and that's what you can get to as well. So at first, when you're getting used to it, you will want to pre-plan your protein sources for the day. So plan it into an app like MyFitnessPal, and then you can look at them, look at the overall numbers for your day, and then adjust them accordingly and try and get relatively close to your goal. So then you're guaranteed, and then the rest of the day you have flexibility with your other foods, and you won't have to do all this planning all the time, but at first it is going to really help you get to that protein goal. I do have some videos that go more into depth about how to hit your protein. So if you're struggling with that, check out the links in the description box below. Reason number 10 is you're not drinking enough water. Water! I am just naturally very thirsty all the time, so I almost drink too much water. But it is important to make sure you are staying hydrated, especially on days you're working out, because if you're not, then your liver has to work harder to remove toxins, and then the fat loss gets slowed down. So you want to make sure you're drinking your water. So I know it's easy to forget though. So here are some water drinking hacks. So first one, get a large refillable water bottle and carry it around during the day. Sip on it. If you forget to sip on it, set an alarm. Set alarms to remind yourself to drink water. I do have the odd day where I randomly am not thirsty and I just keep forgetting, and then I'll get dehydrated. So on those types of days, I will set little timers and remind myself, and it works really well. And another thing is, if you're just someone who's like, oh, this water's boring, I don't want to drink it, then you can add flavored water enhancers. You can add cucumber, frozen fruits, just so many different things to just enhance your water and keep it healthy. And a good rule of thumb for if you're drinking too much water, or not too much water, enough water, is your pee should be kind of clear. You don't actually want it crystal clear. One time I went to the doctor and I got a pee test and I had drank so much water and my pee was crystal clear and I felt like I was the queen. I thought I was the best. And they were like, no, that's too much. You're diluting all the vitamins. So yeah, little hints of yellow is still okay. But yeah, that's a good way to know, because everyone's different. You can't just say 8 glasses, so. Water. The next reason is you're not eating enough fiber. So fiber is very important. It helps with your digestion, it keeps you full, but a lot of the population is not eating enough fiber. For women, the recommended amount is about 25 grams a day, and for men, it's 36-ish grams a day. So if you're struggling to eat fiber, just eat more foods that are high in fiber. So some examples are apples, green beans, raspberries, strawberries, broccoli, whole grain foods, and just a lot of other fruits and veggies. So mostly the nutrient dense kind of stuff are gonna hike up your fiber intake and help you hit your fiber. You can also use a fiber supplement if you're having trouble some days hitting enough fiber. I used to get these fiber gummies. They were lots of fun. So that is also something you could do. So at the end of the day, what you want to remember is that you can't spot reduce body fat. So everyone has a specific problem area, and that's usually the area that's last to really see progress, or the last to go down. So a good analogy for this is that if you were draining water out of a pool, in order to get to the water at the bottom of the pool, like you couldn't like go and get that water out first. No, like it all comes out, you're draining the water, slowly it's all gonna come out of the pool. It's like that for fat loss. You can't really control like, oh, I want it to come from my stomach first, I want it to come from my legs first. Like, no, it's gonna come off wherever you're genetically gonna lose it, and that's just how it is. So give it patience and time and it will come. Check out some of the linked videos in the description box below. They'll expand on some of the tips that I mentioned, and stay tuned for next Friday because my video coming out is how to successfully lose body fat and maintain muscle while walking. So it's gonna be a fun one. And that is it. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next week. Bye.